Hey, so I decided this is a pretty Halloweeny movie, or not movie, video. That's what I meant to say. This is a pretty Halloweeny video to start with. I mean, the moon is full, and it's like really high in the sky. That bright light up there, that's the moon. It's like directly above me. It's cold and breezy. And I can see perfectly out here thanks to the light of the moon. And I thought this is a good time to talk about a scary thing. You know, since it's Halloween season, October and all that. So, I'm going to paint the scene for you here. So, some time ago, I had this dream that I couldn't get out of my head. This sort of dream nightmare thing. And I thought that would be perfect for talking about it for Halloween and all that. Anyways, so I went to bed as normal, but as not normal, I had a dream that I can remember. I don't dream as often as I used to, and it's even rarer that I remember the dream. But this one I do remember. I was in my room, or what I believe to be in my room. It didn't look like any room that I've ever been in before, but it somehow, for some reason, it felt like it was my room. Even if I've never even been in the room, it looked old. The walls had black streaks on them, like just old. They were all weathered. Very old and dated wallpaper as well. And I was in an actual big bed. I usually sleep on a mattress, you know. I sleep on just a mattress on the floor. That's not like anything to say about how I'm living. That's just the way I like to sleep. I don't care if I have a bed frame or not. I'm okay with just sleeping on a mattress on the floor. Anyways, it was dark, but light enough to where I could see. There was no light in the room. And the room, it started shaking and rumbling. It was like an earthquake, like an actual earthquake. It was shaking and rumbling, and I saw it appear. It was not a glowing orb. It was in the shape of a woman. So, you know when you're watching a really old TV and you start getting interference and there's a staticky filter over everything? Something like that. There's like a staticky filter over everything and stuff. And it's really hard to see what's going on. Kind of also like when a VHS gets all old and stuff and doesn't show the picture very well. There's a heavy static overlay. That's what she looked like. She was wearing a long white dress, I think. And it was really flowy. She wasn't floating. I don't think so. And she kept blinking in and out of pure existence. Like she would disappear in one place and appear in another place. It was like teleporting. Blip, gone. Then she'll suddenly be in the corner of the room. Then gone. Then she'll suddenly be next to the door. Gone. And then she appears right in front of my face. The room's still shaking while all this was happening. I saw her face. It was featureless, except for 2 red eyes and big open mouth. And she was screaming at me. It sounded like heavy radio interference, but the static also sounded like her voice. Like the static was her voice, and it sounded like words, but also with a sort of female voice thing to it. Like the static sounded like a female voice. That's what I'm saying. It was like interference. And as she was yelling at me, she was yelling, "Change my visage." She was screaming that right into my face over and over again. And as she was screaming that, the walls, on the walls, "Change my visage," was also appearing on them in red. It wasn't blood, it was glowing, and it was appearing on the walls behind her as she was screaming it in my face. "Change my visage," over and over again, while it was all still rumbling and shaking like an earthquake. And then I woke up in a sweat. I didn't have a fever. I just woke up. It was really scary for a second. It was like I just got jump scared when I woke up. Or like when your body does that fake falling thing, you know? But yeah, Ghost Woman looked like static. He had a staticky voice, red eyes that were not staticky, screamed, "Change my visage," in my face. Didn't do anything else to me, didn't hurt me or anything. Fading in and out of existence and popping wherever. Multiple places. It was pretty scary. I even drew a picture, or to the best of my ability. I know what the word visage means. It means face. I told my mom about it, and she talked about, like, visage means face, and she wanted me to change how she looked, but she gave it a deeper meaning said something like she wanted me to change how she looked to other people, like as in change her perception, or change the perception of people around her. Otherwise, change her visage from something to another thing. It hasn't happened to me since. I haven't had a dream like that ever since that first one. But it is stuck in my mind. And I don't think I can ever get it out. Another nightmare I had, I was back at my great-grandfather's house. My great-grandfather left his house to my mom when she grew up. And she moved there when I was about 2 years old. And I lived in there until 2020. So that's got to give you an idea of how long I spent in that house. Anyways, so I had a dream. I was at that point I was in my great-grandfather's house, the old house. At that point I still lived there. I was younger, way younger. But anyways, the dream was I was in the house, and I walked into the kitchen to see my mom and my non-blood related aunt talk to me. She was the wife of my uncle. So, I'm not going to say her name though. She and my mom were talking with each other in the kitchen. And the kitchen was directly linked to another room through a small archway where we ate. And then that room was linked to a bathroom, a small bathroom that had a door. But the door was usually open unless someone was in there. Anyways. So, I walked in on them talking in the kitchen, and the kitchen had these big windows that looked out into the front yard. These two massive windows that looked out into the front yard and the driveway. And at that point, my dad had a truck, a big black Dodge truck. And while they were talking, I looked beyond them, and I saw that the truck was starting and leaving. So, in that dream, my dad was about to drive away. But before I saw him pull out of the driveway, I heard a crashing window. The bathroom also had windows. It was from the bathroom. The bathroom had windows that led to the outside, to the side yard. And out of the bathroom and into my view, me, my mom, and my uncle's wife were watching this huge black dog. It looked like a mix between a Mastiff and a Rottweiler. Had a long tail. It wasn't cut into a bob. And it had floppy ears. And it was completely black. And I don't know if it had glowing eyes or not. I don't remember, but it was huge. At that point, I was like 6 or 7, I don't know when, probably then, 6, 7, maybe 10. And the dog was about the size of me, and I heard its claws tapping on the linoleum kitchen floor as it was approaching me. And then I woke up, and I slept with the lights on for the next few weeks. So, yeah. One more dream. This wasn't as much of a nightmare as it was a weird dream. It was when, I believe it was when I don't know if it was when we recently moved or before we moved. I think it was before we moved from the old house. And it was after my dad left. And I don't mean like left the state or country. I mean like left this physical world. Anyways, so it was like a normal day, and then he just walked in the house. We knew he was gone. Like, everyone knew he died, but he just walked in the house. There was nothing wrong with him. He looked as alive as ever. He didn't look like a zombie. He didn't look decayed at all. He just looked like himself. And my mom was like really happy about it and stuff. And like kept clinging to him. You know, I guess that is a normal reaction to seeing a dead spouse come back. And we all crowded around him and stuff, and he just didn't have any of it. He sort of walked by us and didn't want to actually talk to us or to Mom. He just wanted things to go back to the way they were before his death. Like, he didn't want us to act like he came back from the dead. And some other things happened that I don't remember. But I remember that whatever happened, happened. I don't think it was bad. I think it was just surreal and weird. And then the dream ended. And I didn't know how to feel about it. It was incredibly surreal. It was, I don't know what it was like exactly. I'd have to have the dream again and to remember every single detail in order to know what it was actually like. Anyways, that's my spooky Halloween sort of tale of 3 dreams, 2 bad, 1 I don't know. Anyways, bye.